Welcome to the show, Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365 iHeartRadio. You already know what it is. R&B singer joining me here on the show here tonight. He's also into photography. I did my research on him. Welcome to the show, man. How's
Ah,
everything going?
good, bro. Can't complain, man. How about you?
Doing good, man. I'm doing well. I'm happy to have you on the show here tonight. Shout out to L Nice for connecting us. So, how are you feeling about everything going into 2024? Because I saw that you recently had your Christmas song played. It was a couple months ago, but this Christmas did get some radio play. So, how are you feeling about that?
Man, bro, I'm excited, man. Me and my boy, Beatman Fresh, man, we did the track together, man. It was a phenomenal creative idea that we did, man. And I'm excited about it, man, especially for this year, man. With some new stuff coming up, me and all that got some things coming up. So I'm very excited, man. I can't complain at all.
Big things. What's some things that you could mention that you have with L Nice? Is this going to be some traveling and performances? What are some things that you want to mention that you can mention about what you got going on with L Nice?
Well, just traveling, some
Traveling.
promotion. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tight, man. It's gonna be tight. I can't say too much, but it's gonna be
I,
tight.
I saw the profile picture show me. Do you feel as though you have something in the stash right now that's going to overcome this song? Because I feel as though that is your anthem. Because I look at all your fans and the feedback. That is your number one song when I really look at it and people know you for. Do you have something in the stash right now that you think is going to overcome that?
Man, I got a country song right now. I'm dropping the music video on the 27th on Memorial Day. It's like a country trap song, man. It's gonna be dope, man. I can send it to you now. You probably can pull it up faster than I can because I'm actually in rehearsal right now. But you can actually pull it up faster than I can. But the song's called Hometown. And it's just the normal laid back family cookout, chill out, riding dirt bikes and four wheelers, just having fun with the family, man. And it's gonna be pretty tight, man. Think it'll be tight. And then we got some more stuff in the stash, that's coming up on the EP. So I got some heat coming, man. Some heat coming.
Where the inspiration to get into country music come from? Was it Nelly? Was it Lil Nas X? I know Nelly was the originator. Everyone likes to say Lil Nas X was, but Nelly really did it. Then you got Beyonce getting into country music. So what was the inspiration for you to get into country?
Man, listen, hold on. I'm gonna shoot this to you right now, and you gonna see why. So apparently, my cousin, my dad's first cousin, she's 80 now, and she was one of the first female country artists to actually sing country music in the studio. Um, and not even knowing, so her name is I'll tell you right now. My mom just sent it to me yesterday. So Beyonce sampled her music. I say that, and not even knowing that it was in my blood. Country music has always been in my blood. Not just music, period. My grandfather was a musician. My great grandfather was a composer. He wrote a hymn book. So it's in me. So the fact that I'm doing it now, it's like Jesus. I didn't know all this was in the family line. So it motivated me. I used to watch my grandfather play the keyboard when I was a kid, and I used to run downstairs in the middle of the night. And one night he caught me. He said, "Well, come on, and let me show you how to play." So that's where I got my inspiration from my grandfather, man. And my aunt is a amazing musical instructor in Columbia, South Carolina, and she plays the violin like a beautiful, so beautiful, man. And she's like one of my number one inspirations as well too. And then my kids, I write for my family. So anything that I see or I do, anything that I hear, I just go right to it and just write.
That's important. And what did you learn from your aunt? Because you mentioned that she's an instructor. What did you learn most from her? Because that's someone that you could really gain wisdom from and just applying to your own craft and what you're doing already. We're seeing releases with the new music. So what did you learn from her most?
So what I learned from her most is just be intentional about everything that you do. When you do music, make it come not just with the emotions, but you have to have passion behind everything that you do, especially when you write. People want to feel where you're coming from. People want to hear your story, and so she said, write a story. And that's what I've been doing. And she said, keep it simple, not too complicated, but write a story. And everything that I've written, it's just time for the world to hear it, man.
Mm. It is, and the fans are ready. So you're representing South Carolina. What is the overall buzz for South Carolina? Because you guys have a lot of artists, and I know I've talked to a lot of artists, especially ones through L Nice that he's connected me with. You guys have a lot of talent out there. What is it that it's just that you guys haven't popped fully yet? Because you have a lot of talent out there.
It's just getting to know the right people, man. South Carolina has, man, some of the best singers in the world, some of the best singers in the world that y'all actually seen, like James Brown, South Carolina, Angie Stone, South Carolina. A lot of people come out of South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't claim South Carolina, but that's not my case. I rep my city, you know what I'm saying? Chuck Town in the house, baby. So I've always been loyal to my city and always will be loyal to my city. You know what I'm saying? Once things start changing, then I'm still gonna be loyal to my city. It's just time to take my course in the industry.
Do you think it's a lack of support? Do you feel as though you're supported by your city? Is that why? Because I feel as though, because I come from Connecticut and I have a balanced intake on how I feel about Connecticut. I want to help the creatives here if they're real and they really are passionate about what they're doing. But the state doesn't back us. We're not supported by the people who are really in charge that can really help the creatives out here make some moves. Is that kind of similar to what's going on in South Carolina? Do you feel as though you are supported by your city and state?
I feel like I'm supported by my city and state because I'm not only just a singer, I'm a barber as well. So I'm always in the community. I always look out for the kids. I have a nonprofit as well called Dream Life Project Foundation, and I help these kids out and teach them how to do different things, teach them how to write a business plan. We get sponsors to sponsor these kids in sports, and extracurricular activities. And so I believe in, the community. And when you believe, like one guy told me, before when I opened my barbershop, he was like, "Hey, when you feed the community take care of you." And I've always believed in taking care of the community. Free haircuts, back to school drives, all that. Because once you do that, if you treat people right, people treat you right.
Mm. No, I agree with that. And shout out to you being a barber too. I didn't know about that. How
Oh
much do you
yeah,
charge? I want to know how much do you charge for a fade?
man. My prices start off at 45. I'm a different type of breed though. My prices start at 45. I can
Ooh.
go higher than that, but I tax on depending on what you want. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
what's
Don't look at my hair right now because I'm actually getting my locks reattached to it. So I look like completely wild right now. But
Oh no, it's all good.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
because when we look at because we always hear people complaining about barber prices, and I'll admit it's getting a little high there. I remember a couple of years ago it was $30. It keeps going up. I trust me. I know some barbers who charge 50 to 55, which is ridiculous. So so how do
Man,
you
listen,
keep?
inflation is going up.
That's
So
true.
you got to think about it. You got to keep up with inflation because oftentimes, gas is costing, depending on which city you stay in, it's like $3 to $4, $5, $6 in Cali, $7 maybe in West Coast and Midwest and East Coast down in Florida. It's expensive. So you got to think about it. I'm paying almost. I got a Challenger, so I'm paying just in my Challenger on about $50 every week, and then my Dodge, it's maybe $75 to fill my Dodge up, my truck. So I got a tax like one haircut that'll get me half a tank.
Yeah, no, you're playing it
You know?
right, along with all these other barbers out
Yeah.
here that are fit. But you know what's crazy? It gets so when you go think about it, because if you have all these events, because you're in the entertainment industry, you're running around here, you're going to be going around with L Nice. It taxes people, and you hear these stories about how much money these guys blow in haircuts. Some people get a shape up every day. Some people go every week. I've been going every week because I've been having all these events and interviews going. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy, man. But like how you said, you got to keep yourself fresh because you're always in front of the camera. So, you got to, and I just think that people need to just get with the times, man. I mean, I understand, when COVID happened, I think state board shut the hair industry down for almost a month.
Yeah.
So, I was taxing about $100 a head going to house calls because I'm putting myself in jeopardy because of COVID. So I'm gonna tax you, and there's no escape around that.
Look at
If
this,
I
self-made, self-paid. He's taxing $100.
definitely got to,
Got to get that
yeah,
money, and plus you were putting yourself in jeopardy. You said with COVID,
yeah.
it's still out here. I know people are acting like it doesn't exist, but then at that time it was really deadly lethal, and you were putting yourself in the line of fire. And good for you that you were really. So this is your own barbershop that you have, or you just work for a barbershop?
No, I have my own barbershop. It's called Art of Grooming. If you go on Instagram, it's at a.o.g._cut lounge. And you will find it on Instagram. And I got 2 locations now. I just partnered up with some partners that has a luxury barbershop. So we got the urban barbershop, and then we got the luxury barbershop where you can come get a manicure and pedicure, get you a nice little complimentary drink. We got a bar in there and a pool table. You can get a facial massage. We have massage therapists and all that. So, the grooming to a whole nother level,
Oh, that's fresh. Yeah, you really give some services in there. You got the pool table in there. I've never heard of
Oh
a
yeah.
barber shop with all that. That's crazy. Yeah. Go
Yeah, man.
support if you're listening right now. Go support Tone out here. Make sure you tap into his barber shop, number one barber in South Carolina for sure. He's really putting it on for the community out here. But I want to get into your photography too. I saw that you're into photography now. What kind of wanted you to get behind the camera since you're so in front of it?
Well, because when you're an artist, you always need content. You always need pictures, and I'm actually in school for that right now. Um, Hold on, someone's trying to call me.
It's all good.
I'm actually. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So I'm in school currently now at Try to Tech. Shout out to Try to Tech. I'm on the dean's list. A's, straight A's.
Congratulations.
But I started doing. Appreciate it. So I started doing photography because being a barber, you try to make sure that you got the best shots. So when you post it on Facebook, the polished look that you want so people can see, you actually you try to get the best shot. So when people see it, it's like, oh shoot, that's a dope haircut. I can see all the fades, I can see the lines, I can see how detailed it is. So then I got into it, and then when I started doing my music, I was like, why am I paying a photographer? Or why am I paying someone to edit my photos or do my content when I could do it myself and just edit it myself? And that way I'm saving money across the board,
Mm.
you know? And that's when I got into it. So I just started doing that, and then I just did a photo shoot for my friends the other day, graduation, stuff like that, making extra money. So it was just more, like I said, everything is a passion to me. So you
Mm.
know.
And you're smart that way, and you can really inspire a lot of people by what you're saying in this interview right now. Because I've been telling people you got to get out of the 9 to 5 lifestyle if you really want to make it anywhere in this world. Because if you keep, it's almost as though it's a cycle. You got to keep going back, working for somebody else. You're better off having a couple side hustles until you get to do what you really want to do. Because you're going to be making more doing your side hustles. Because you're going to be trapped into making a garbage about what is it, $15 an hour in certain states,
Oh,
and you got to
bro.
make more than that nowadays. It's unbelievable.
Listen, I did everything, bro. I used to drive trucks. I used to, man, just to make $1 to make ends meet, man. And it's like, because I told my dad when I was tested, Dad, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. You did that. You worked in the warehouse. I'm not gonna do that. And I truly believe in setting the example for my kids, man, so they can see that you don't have to work a 9 to 5. You can do your own thing. You can be an entrepreneur out here and get it, and don't sell yourself short, because ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Ain't nothing in life free.
Mm,
You got to grind for everything that you want.
you do. Let's take it to the music. When did you step into that studio and say that you were ready and you noticed that this was a gift that you had and the people around you supported you?
Um, what did it for me was when, so I wrote Show Me 2011, about 13 years ago. And uh the very first time I stepped, because I was always nervous. I'm like, man, do I have it? And then I'd be in church singing, and then people from the church was definitely receiving. And then my friends started receiving, because I really didn't think that I had the voice at one point to do it. But then as I started growing up and getting older, I started developing who I really was. And so I just literally took a leap of faith, man. And anybody that was connected to me that wasn't for me, I just cut off. And because that's important, man. Everybody can't go with you,
No.
so you got to learn how to separate the two. Either you for me or you for me. If you ain't for me, cool. I'm messing with you. I ain't messing with you. It is what it is, you know. So
Got to keep real people.
yeah, got to keep real people around you. So I took the leap of faith and I did it. And like I said, everything is a connection. I was cutting the the guy in the studio, and inside the radio station. And I was like, hey man, I want you to listen to something. I cut his hair, and he said, well, how much do you owe me? Well, how much do I owe you? I said, nothing. I just want you to hear my song. And after that, it just boom, it went from playing into the studio, then went from opening up for Goodie Mob when Goodie Mob came down here. And then from doing shows, from singing in the clubs, and from just traveling, doing videos in Atlanta and going to Jersey, performing the song in Jersey at a nightclub. It was crazy. It's like, whoa, like I didn't think it would be this quick, but it took off quick.
Oh wow, that's big. We got to get into how is this opening up for Goodie Mob? Shout out to Goodie Mob and CeeLo Green. He's been on the show.
Yes, man. Listen, that it was an amazing experience, man. To see them guys still got the energy from when they first started to now. It was like, bruh, like how y'all do it, but everybody still got that grind. They got that grind, man. They got that. I don't. It's something about them, man. It's like beast mode. Like you get what I'm saying? Like they got that beast mode in them. I'm like, bruh, like CeeLo just be doing this thing. Well, it's
We got with soul food and cell therapy. Oh, classic, man.
listen, and I love it. And you would never deviate from that because and we talked about it the other day. People don't listen to real stuff no more, or real music no more.
No.
They don't, and it's the music industry is on the verge of coming back, but at one point it was just like they were just playing anything, and I was like, man, I could do that in my kitchen right now and make it a hit. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize that the era that we're coming up now, you gotta kind of not really adjust, but then you gotta kind of catch their attention. Say, hey, this is where it's at. But y'all sampling everything from the old school, and not realizing everything that y'all sample is from the old school. All you doing is flipping the beat. So,
Exactly right, and you're right about that. I'm seeing that you're starting to see more artists out there, and they're making it on the independent wave. I hope the industry catches on and stops paying attention to acts that are so basically chasing clout. That's what it is now. I want to see artists make it who are authentic to themselves and how music used to be back in the day. Let's bring back the Nelly country grammars. When I really look at today's superstars, we don't have that Beyonce, Britney Spears that we had in the early 2000s. We got Drake. I mean, we got these guys that are superstars. But when we talk about musically talented wise, it's hardly there.
man, you talk about if you want to go in, let's go there. We talk about Prince. We talk about Brian McKnight. You talk about Tank is underrated. Tank, if you want, you talk about pure talent, man. You talk about man, Jesus, PJ Morton, which is one of my homeboy plays the percussion for PJ Morton now. You know, my boy Kenobi, he did the engineer for Snoop Dogg's Algorithm album, I believe that's what it was.
Mm,
And so it's a lot of talent out there, man. It's a lot of talent, and these it's hard to come by real musicians that actually play. You know what I'm saying? So I'm into that era. Like I love that era. I love that because you gotta feel it, man. You gotta feel it,
you
and if you
do.
don't feel it, it's like, what's the point? What's the purpose?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
you can't, and you know what it is? You can't feel anything through a phone and an algorithm. That's what the problem is because they're chasing trends on TikTok and Instagram and social, and you can't feel that. You got to take it back to the organic times when people were before the technology era really swept it. Because everywhere you go, everyone's looking on their phone. They're looking down at their phones, and that's the era we live in now. There's miscommunication everywhere. Everyone's socially awkward, and I think there's a great point too that artists when we look at it back in the day, and Noriega has even said this on his show, he said records were so great back in the 90s and early 2000s was because you had to actually be in the studio with your collaborators. Now you just send a track through the email, and you don't get that feeling that was those people were really connecting when they were going back and forth on those tracks and collaborating together.
Yeah, man, you're right. Definitely, because I can tell you from being a musician, because I play trumpet as well. Um, so just being together and jamming together, like we used to have jam sessions in the middle of the night. We used to play from like I literally from 10 o'clock until about 7 o'clock the next morning, and just being in the vibe. Like we probably got like 10 to almost 15 tracks done within those hours. Not even playing, not even stopping. We might order some pizza or something like that and come back to the studio and just keep going. Like that's what it was about. It wasn't about trying to be famous. It was about, hey, I got this music. I just want people to hear it, but I want to make sure that when they hear it, that they believe what it is and not just a note, or cause anybody can play a note.
It's true.
Anybody can play a note, but it takes a real musician to actually analyze it and to feel it and to play it and put it on the paper, put it on the tracks, and put it on everything else, and do that. Like as we see, man, we be at 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 in the morning, man, and still to this day, that's we grinding like that,
Mm.
grinding like that.
You're right, and you're following the right blueprint. That's the path that you have to follow. Get back to the organic era. I did see on Instagram with you your hashtag South by Southwest 2024. Is that a preview? Is that a tease?
It's a tease. I went to South by Southwest 2003. 2023 was the very first time I went to South by Southwest, and after that, I've always wanted. Because I talked to this lady from ASCAP, and so she was saying, well, when I met her, the very first time I went, just trying to feel it out, passing out my cards, but I actually had my shirt on with my QR code on the back, and she's like, "Well, do you have a link tree?" I was like, no, but I got this card. You listen to my song. And then she was like, well, hey, the next time you go to somebody, give them a card, but make sure you got all your stuff on it. I said, ever since then, I'm talking about instantly, within that instant, I think it was like maybe 5 minutes after she said that, I went back to the sideline, created a link tree with everything in it, and went back there. I said, "Hey, does it look like this?" Boom. And then ever since then, we didn't stop talking. So I met El Nice through a friend of mine, and he was like, "Hey man, I think you need to talk to him." I said, "Cool." We talked, and El Nice was like, "Man, look, this is what it's gonna be. We ain't playing no games. If you serious, we're serious. If you ain't serious, we ain't serious. Don't play. Let's go. It's time to get it." And I said, "Yes, sir." And I came back to him because I was dealing with something. And I said, "Hey man, I think I'm ready. Let's go." And so now I said, anything you tell me to do, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and he does to give the best advice. He's always going to have your best interest. That's someone that you want in your corner, someone who's loyal, someone who's real in the game, putting artists on who are really talented out here, and someone that just shows love and appreciation. He's someone that you definitely want in your corner out here. But what did you learn most from this book, Damaged but Not Destroyed?
Man, Michael Todd, a phenomenal pastor. Um, a lot of times we go through life, right? And we go through so much stuff, not realizing that we're built for it, what God has built us for. So oftentimes, we don't like going through the storm, we don't like going through pain, we don't like going through struggles, but it's necessary. It's necessary to go through pains and struggles. It's necessary to go through that because that molds you, it builds you. And once you get the molding and the building that you need, there's nothing that can tear you down. I may be damaged, but I'm not destroyed. I may have went through, saying a divorce or whatever, or I might have been through abuse, or whoever the girl was that been through abuse, or whoever got the whatever in life, they went through something horrible. But at the end of the day, you're still valuable. You're still worth it after all the stuff that you're going through. You're still worth it. So keep your head up, Queen. Keep your head up, King. Let's get it.
That's deep. I like this. Yeah, people got to go check this book out. And I'm glad that it touched you and you were able to share that message because I did see that. It's so rare nowadays for artists to prop up reading and just giving book knowledge. Just the fact that you're even promoting a book, it's rare nowadays. Usually, you usually see autobiographies of artists and entrepreneurs that they're usually big in the game. They're promoting their own books, but I never see someone promoting somebody else's book, and that piqued my interest to see maybe I should check this book out. And I definitely wanted to bring that up. And thank you for sharing that too.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I appreciate that.
Of course, top five R&B artists. Who are your top five all time?
I love it. Boom. I love it. All right. Can I do six instead of five?
Yeah, you could do six.
All right. So Usher is like one of my favorite artists. I've always wanted to meet him. Always wanted to do music with him. Um, so Usher, Babyface, um, Tank, um, Tyrese, Chris Brown. Um, I gotta say Sam Cooke. I gotta put
Mm.
Sam Cooke up there. That's a combination of all because a lot of them listen to Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, and all that stuff. But Sam Cooke is definitely one of them singers, man, and I love it. But Usher is by far. I mean, with all the creativity, dance moves. The musical arrangements on his tracks is stupid, bro. Like this last album he did, Homecoming,
Great
by
album.
far, bro. What's the song?
A-Town
I
Girl.
love you. I love you. I love
I
you.
love you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the songs that was the realest on that album was called Naked.
Mm.
He was so transparent, and people didn't even realize he was transparent.
What, what's your top?
You know what I'm talking about, though. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know. What's your top Usher album? Is it Confessions? 'Cause I feel it's so cliche to go to Confessions.
I would say 8701.
Mm. Torque It Out. You Got It
Work it out.
Bad.
Yeah, that was like that. He scaled on that album. That was
Yeah,
just stupid, especially when he was talking to Chili. You know, he scaled on that album.
he
That
did.
girl, that girl hurt his feelings, the whole feelings. He was hurt. I said, someone get him, rescue him, please, please
Yeah,
rescue him.
and trust me, there's a lot of what's going on that album out here right now.
Right now, currently, it's like, dang.
Oh, please. It's toxic. But what are you working on as far as you mentioned the EP earlier? Have you thought of what you're going to name the EP if you want to share that?
Um, Still in thought. Yeah, still in thought. Because this one is special to me, man. Because with me going through life, it has motivated me in so many different ways. So I don't have the exact title yet, but it's gonna be relatable.
Mm, that's real.
Um, it's gonna be relatable. It's gonna be you'll be able to understand it from all cultures, and be able to listen to it with your girl, your boys, your parents, your family, your kids. Kids safe. I mean, kids safe. I don't really cuss too much, but and I might say one thing that may be a cuss word on it, but I don't really cuss like that. I try to do music that people can relate to without having to cuss on it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we cover up the creativity by cussing so much.
Mm, I agree with that
Yeah. So
100%.
yeah.
90s and early 2000s R&B didn't have all these curse words in it.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Like you understood what they were doing. Like you understood where they was at, man. You know.
Mhm. No, I'm glad that you're going to be bringing that back. But what do you got on the way here that you want to tell your fans? Because you mentioned you're going to be going around city to city. What's something that you want to mention here on the show that you got upcoming, as well as what's on the map out for 2024? Besides, I know you got the EP, you're going to be traveling city to city. What's some other things you want to let the fans know?
I'm going to Texas Community, which is in St. George, South Carolina. My uncle them has a memorial celebration that they do every year, and when they heard the hometown song, they just fell in love with it, and they wanted to come performing out there. And so while I'm out there with my family, I'm actually going to shoot my video out there with my family, man, because that's important. Like you want it, like I said, you want it to be real and genuine. So I want to shoot that out there with my family, and get on a dirt bike and four wheeler, cut up a little bit. The country life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
man, no, you're ready, 100% ready. Congratulations on the success this far. I checked out the songs that you have out there. You're definitely moving in the right position. You got the talent. It's just only a matter of time. What's your headspace as far as signing a deal? Is it mainly just kind of just building your foundation right now, staying independent, or what's the headspace as far as deals? Are you even
oh,
thinking about that?
well, I mean, of course, you always think about deals, but you got to think about what's the best deal. And I guess me and let's talk about that later on. But I'm not trying to sign nothing just yet, not unless I know exactly what I'm getting myself into.
Mhm.
And you got to be mindful because once you sign that dotted line, because they say people don't read, once you sign that dotted line, you sign that dotted line, you stuck with a contract for a certain amount of
Yeah.
terms that they ask you to sign it for. So always got to be smart about what you do and how you do it. So I mean, but I'm not saying that that's not an option. It's definitely a option. But I think you would make more buck for doing it independent. That's what I would say. But everybody needs help too. So, like I said, we just got to structure the deal right.
Mhm. Got it. You know what's best for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Tone, is there anything else you would love to let your fans know? Anything else that we didn't cover here in the interview?
No, man. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support. Everybody that supported me, and I love everybody out there. And I can't wait to see y'all because without y'all, there's no me. And I appreciate everything. And thank you, brother, so much, man. I appreciate you.
Of course, Tone. Until the next time, you're always welcome on the show. Thank you for coming on, man. Keep doing great things out there for the community, and you're going to make it big soon. Shout out to El Nice for connecting us. Let them know where they can follow you on Instagram, X, all your platforms. So they can tap in with you.
You can the real at the real tone on Instagram at the real tone, which is spelled TON3, not E, at the real tone on Instagram, and you can just type in tone on Facebook. You can see that. And then everything, my music on the real tone, everything is right there. All you gotta do is just click the link, and then you'll listen. You'll see, and then just listen to everything. Um, so that's pretty much where you can find me.
Make sure you give them that
I'm
follow.
on all platforms, DJ Max, all platforms.
All platforms. Make sure you go follow them. Support Tone. Thank you again, man. You're always welcome on the show. Enjoy the rest of your night, okay?
You too. Hey, come see me, get your haircut now. Stop playing me. Come see me.
Yeah, I
Come
got
see
you,
me.
man. When
I
I'm
ain't gonna
out,
charge you. I ain't gonna charge you $45. I'll give you a discount.
you'll give me a discount. Oh, I
I give you
appreciate
a
that.
discount. All right.
When I'm out there and around 100%, man, you got to hook me up with a fresh fade.
Definitely, man. Don't be scared to call me back. Call me, man, and keep in touch. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's stay connected. I appreciate
Man,
you,
love,
man.
bro.
Enjoy the rest of your
Appreciate
night.
it. You do. You do the same.
You too, man. Peace out.